Good evening, dear viewers, and welcome to a new episode of the Daily Debate. I'm your host for tonight, Mohammed Abdahim, and we'll be talking about the progress of Egypt's national industrial strategy in this episode, as Egypt has made significant progress in its national industrial strategy through establishing mega infrastructure projects and attracting direct foreign investments to an array of economic activities along with developing its export capabilities. Many initiatives, including the initiative START or IBDA, have been taken in this regard. We begin this episode with our top story concerning the topic, as His Excellency the President convened a high-level meeting on Wednesday to review the progress and strategies of the National Industrial Strategy with key government officials. Official spokesperson for the Presidency highlighted that the meeting focused on the various components and phases of implementing the National Industrial Strategy, which is designed to urgently advance Egypt's industrial sector, optimize the use of existing industrial resources, and harness both domestic and foreign private sector capabilities. The ultimate goal is to transform Egypt into a leading regional and international industrial hub, boosting commodity exports and enhancing the national economy. During the meeting, President Sisi underscored the importance of training and upgrading the skills of Egyptian workers and updating the national industrial investment map to attract more investment. The President also called for an evaluation of the issues facing struggling factories and the development of innovative solutions to support their operation, safeguard investments, and protect workers' rights. This comprehensive approach aims to address both immediate and long-term industrial challenges, driving sustainable growth and economic progress. And that was our top story for tonight. And we will be discussing this topic with our distinguished guests with us here in the studio, Dr. Salah Arafa, Professor of Science at the AUC, the American University here in Cairo. A very good evening to you, Dr. Arafa. Great pleasure having you with us.
Thank you very much. The pleasure is mine to contribute to the debate of this very interesting story.
Thank you very much, Dr. Arafa. Allow us, please, and allow us, dear viewers, as well, first to watch a report about our main topic for tonight, and then we'll come back and start our discussion.
Since President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi took office, his administration has made significant strides in addressing the needs of Egypt's population while fostering economic growth. Central to his policy agenda has been the focus on modernizing the economy. One of the notable initiatives under President Sisi's leadership is the IBDA national initiative aimed at industrial development. Launched with a clear directive to invigorate Egyptian industry, IBDA seeks to create job opportunities, particularly for young people, by investing in modern industries and reducing the nation's reliance on imports. This approach not only aims to boost local manufacturing, but also to foster a more self-sufficient economy. The initiative is closely linked to the Decent Life program, which aims to improve living standards across Egypt. By integrating IBDA with Decent Life, the government ensures that economic development is paired with social advancement. The emphasis on developing the human element through training and education ensures that the benefits of the industrial growth extend to broader segments of the society. The integration of these initiatives reflects a great approach to national development, addressing immediate economic needs while building a foundation for sustainable progress. This strategy underscores President Sisi's commitment to both economic revitalization and social equity, aiming to create a balanced framework for Egypt's future growth.
Welcome back, and thank you very much, Abir Hussein and Rasha Abdul Hamid, for this report. We're in the studio with Dr. Salah Arafa, Professor of Science at the AUC. Dr. Arafa, so His Excellency the President in today's meeting underscored the importance of training and upgrading the skills of Egyptian workers and updating the National Industrial Investment Map to attract more investments. Your comments?
Well, I'm so happy that we have the road map to really achieve what Egypt can do in the, I would say, not the Middle East, but even in Africa and the world. Really, what is needed and what is important, that we can incorporate the debate and the discussion with everyone concerned. Not only with the directors, not only with the professors, not only with the ministers, but with everybody. Because we need to have these innovative ideas, innovative approaches, innovative, I would say, ideas will come from everybody concerned. So, when we speak about implementing an industry, okay, I need the products that we have needed by the end user, the one who is going to buy it. So I need to understand his ideas, to incorporate it in the production way. And this type of cooperation and involvement, as we say, participation in the decision making, is very, very important. And I'm so proud that our government and our president is taking this direction in bringing people together from different ministries, from different organizations. But I really would like that all the people concerned would go down and build up this type of participation and cooperation with the other people and getting their opinion. What do we need to do to make Egypt in its right place?
Dr. Arafa, the President called during today's meeting for an evaluation of the issues, the challenges facing struggling factories and the development of innovative solutions. What can you tell us about these two important points?
Well, I think these are very, very important. When we have an industry, I need to know how should we make it progressing, how should we make it equally available for all investors, and we need ideas to improve the production as well. And for that, it's very, very important that we say, how could we develop the local industry? Local industry. And what I really would like to say, that we can make a lot in this direction if we get the involvement of end users, the factory productive people, and the consumers, to debate on how to improve and how to get it done in the right direction and in the right way.
The local industry, so you mean you want to depend on local components for the industries, you want to localize the industry as much as you can, so as to decrease your imports and potentially increase your exports?
You know, I'm very interested in this area of really promoting the idea of manufacturing the solar cells for renewable energy. We have the sand, we have the good workers, we have the main scientists who teach these ideas. We need just to put them together to really make this a reality for a future that we can say we use our own sun and our own energy to progress.
How do you evaluate, Dr. Arafa, the efforts of the national initiative to develop the Egyptian industry, IBDA or START? The President's directives to the youth of the presidential program was to link it with decent life, or Haya Karim. How do you evaluate the efforts in this regard?
A great effort and a very innovative approach to the whole equity problem that we face, industrial-wise and economical-wise and social-wise. It just needed to really understand that at different levels, including the end user. And when we speak about end users, we can get them not only for the how to use it and how to make it and only, but how could we improve it? And I think if we can get the ideas and we get this innovative ideas done, I think we will be advancing a lot in the future and for our industry and our economics and our equity among the people.
Of course, for any advancement to happen, there needs to be cooperation and perhaps integration as well between the government and the private sector's efforts. So how do you see the importance of, both parties here, both concerned parties, to execute the required missions?
Could I just make a correction?
Yes, please.
The government and the private sector cannot do that alone. We need the public, we need the national entity, which we call it the
national dialogue. Talk about the implementing recommendations of the national dialogue.
Well, what
you want to involve the entire society, I understand.
Yeah, but what I speak about, that where are the non-governmental organizations?
Okay. Yeah.
It is very important because non-governmental organizations are those reaching everyone in the country, not the government and not the private sector. So if we have the three sitting together and cooperating together and participating together to improve something, we can do it. Without that, forget it. Then it will be only saying something. But I think it's very, very important that we can involve the non-governmental organizations who can reach the public, who can reach those in small villages, in the desert areas, in the Bedouins. We can't just leave them. We need to incorporate them with their ideas to improve their life and our life as well.
Okay. In what ways, Dr. Arafa, would the national industrial strategy enhance the skills and of Egyptian workers, and how important is that specific point?
Well, we all know that, in fact, education of people cannot be done just verbally, theoretically. We need to train people. even these young kids, we need to train them how to cross the street. We need to train them how to reuse the waste. We need to train them how to say what they want to achieve. I think this type of training is very, very important, and I think what we can really say in connection with that, what I'm really trying to force as good ideas or good approach or innovative approach, is that we need to have this type of community education, including what I can tell them and what I can train them to do.
Okay. Dr. Arafa, the IBDA or START initiative announced the launch of the Nile Direct Industrial Investment Fund. And this is the first specialized industrial investment fund with the aim of decreasing imports and increasing exports. How do you see this move?
Well, excellent move, and let me just put it in my way to the people who are watching, the audience. Our life, my life and your life, and everybody's life watching us, 3 circles. What 3 circles? The first is consumption. The last one is production, your work and your production. In the middle, we have what we call it the loss and waste. So what is needed? Well, to conserve the consumption, not get anything and throw it away. Second, improve your work and your production. But should not forget to minimize the waste, the loss
in production and the waste in consumption,
and to recycle the waste. You see, it's clear, but we need to train them, to train people, to train students, to train workers how to do it. Without do that for me. How could I do it myself? And how could I do it at home and at work and in the street and somewhere? And this is really the approaches that we need our mind to work with and to cooperate together to be able to achieve what we need to do in this initiative of the government.
Yes, Dr. Arafa. The investment climate in Egypt has become more attractive to international development partners. How do you read this, and how do you see this indeed, and with all the reforms that the Egyptian economy has gone through in the past few years, and how will this help, you know, the industrial strategy here in Egypt advance?
Well, I think they are in the right direction, and I think the government is doing very well in that direction. What we need is really to get the investment, the investors from outside to sit with the investors from inside, and each one would also sit together to really make sure that we cooperate. Cooperate. It means what? Well, I will just come again. If we are really going to make a sort of production, and this production is to cover my consumption and send it outside to sell it. Perfect. But if we are really making something that we don't really make use ourselves, forget it.
Okay.
Why? Because we are really depending on what we get and what we eat. And let us not forget the nexus, which is also three triangle: water, food, energy.
Okay. Dr. Arafa, allow us again, please, to watch another report about our main topic for tonight, and dear viewers, allow us that as well. It is about the impact of the IBDA or Start in Decent Life or Hayat Karima initiatives.
IBDA National Initiative stands out for its focus on revitalizing Egyptian industry and reducing import dependency. This program is a key element of President Sisi's broader economic strategy, which aims to address unemployment, particularly among youth, and enhance industrial capacity. President Sisi's administration has placed a strong emphasis on improving conditions for low-income Egyptians and stimulating economic growth through a series of strategic initiatives. The IBDA initiative represents a concerted effort to modernize Egyptian industries by investing in technology and infrastructure. By prioritizing the development of new industrial sectors, the initiative seeks to create sustainable job opportunities and reduce the nation's import bill. This achieved through incentives for local production and technological advancements that drive efficiency and competitiveness. Additionally, the Decent Life initiative complements IBDA by focusing on improving the quality of life for Egypt's lower-income population. This program addresses fundamental needs such as housing, healthcare, and education, ensuring that economic growth translates into tangible benefits for the community. By aligning IBDA's industrial goals with Decent Life social objectives, the government aims to create a combination between economic advancement and social welfare. The integration of these initiatives is designed to foster long-term sustainability. The focus on human development within the industrial strategy ensures that the workforce is equipped with the necessary skills to thrive in a modern economy. As a result, President Sisi's approach not only targets immediate economic challenges, but also aims to build a resilient and inclusive framework for future growth.
Thank you, Abi Hussein, again, and Rasha Abdel Hamid for this report, and welcome back. You're still watching the Daily Debate. We're talking about Egypt's national industrial strategy in the company of Dr. Salah Arafa, Professor of Science at the AUC. Now, Dr. Arafa, the IBDA initiative addresses youth unemployment, among other issues that it does address. Your comment on this, how important is this? I mean, getting the youth unemployment down, creating jobs for the youth. And Egypt is a youthful population after all. And its future depends on its youth, again.
Sure, sure. Well, it is very, very important to really direct our effort first to those who are really looking for jobs. And there are a wide distribution. We need just to think about it. And I will tell you why people are misusing this migration to outside. And why they are paying money to really get to travel to find a job. Many places. Why don't we find approaches that we can employ them immediately and today? To make industry? No. But I can tell you immediately, and this is my contribution to this problem of the country, what is internal migration. Why? Because we have 80% of our land desert. What to do to cultivate it? Do we have the technicality? Yes.
And we have the manpower for sure.
We have everything. It's just we need to make it easy for people to really come and apply. What we are really seeing that, okay, because what we have as a problem, we are increasing in number. We can't do anything about it now. But at the same time, we have limited areas for our food. This could be a solution. Can employ the unemployed in making food. To start with making food is to plant trees, not to cut trees. This is environmentally important. This also economically important. This scientifically important, economically important, and we need to put together our ideas and make that easy. How to do it easy?
Make it easy is very important, yeah. So as to be able to convince the youth to stay here at home and make this internal migration instead of the external migration
it is very,
that many are
easy
looking
to
for.
show them an example, to show them a case, to see that someone from his country have made a progress, and I wish to do the same. These are really very important, Fandim. When we say, oh, you have made a small industry in a place that was even thinking of it can come one day. Hey, if I see it and I know how it was done, I can think to improve it. I can think to do a better one. But if I don't see it, forget it. And this is coming back to your very important point. There is no education without training. Teach me how to do it.
Okay. Dr. Arafa, technological advancements are very important whenever we talk about basically any subject, but especially if we talk about the advancement of the industry. So how do you see the importance of that element, and especially that it is being prioritized under the IBDA or START initiative, technological advancements?
Very, very important. And this is also to encourage people not to go to the university, but also to go to
technical schools?
Technical schools.
And colleges.
And for the technical schools, if you just make the support that if you are really good, we can find you a job, an investment in the brains that we have, and also in the wealth that we have among the people and among the youth and among those who can think of these varieties of technical as well as economical projects like IBDA.
To encourage the local industry and local manufacturing, there must be incentives. Now there are incentives on the ground, but are they enough in your view to push really the local industry forward, the incentives?
No, they are not enough. And as a good start, bring them for a meeting. And the first question would be, how could we improve? Very simple. And when you say, how could we improve, together. What do you need from me? I can do it for you. What I need from you is to tell me what you need to improve. Finished. So this type of what we call it community dialogue and community progress and community use of resources, very, very important. And I think for investment and for money, we need to think of the many very important ideas of shareholding. Why? Because that would bring everybody into the business and into the thinking with small sum of money, but collected. And if I say...
We all have a stake. We would all be having a stake.
And in fact, it is very, very important to really say that we need to open the door, but we are the one to open it, not someone from outside. And this is available and needed, and thanks for the government to have these initiatives. We need to put our initiatives and our hands with the hands of the private sector and the government to really make it done as a non-governmental organization.
Right. I mean, you focused a lot, Dr. Arafa, on the issue of dialogue. So it seems that you believe that we need more dialogue, more inner dialogue, before we implement new strategies moving forward.
I will say it out of my own experience. 50 years ago, I entered a village, and the first thing we did, open a dialogue. And what they did, everyone in Egypt now is saying, why don't we repeat it in other villages? Why don't we repeat it in other places? Why?
That
because
was a village in Sharqiyya, I think you told?
El Basaisa.
Yeah.
And we are really talking about a village.
Why don't you remind the viewers of what you exactly did in that village in the Sharqiyya Governorate?
The one that you said. Open a dialogue. And the dialogue with the people for the first time, for the first hour, was, what do you need? And the first thing they said to me, as a scientist, oh, we don't have electricity. Can we use what ideas about solar energy and so on to power a television and put it in the common room and we see it all, and instead of going somewhere far away and paying £1 to watch the football match, and we can have it here and we pay the £1 here. They solved the problem from the beginning and without 1 penny from outside. With the dialogue, you have the ideas of the people and who can be committed, and the only thing that you would say, okay, if you want this solar energy, it's very expensive, but we can give it by loans. And you can pay the loans of the £50 or the 50 piastres that you are going to pay watching the TV. Solved. It can be solved. We have innovative ideas. This, first of all, it was not my idea. It is the people's idea, but as a scientist, put it in the form that it can be repeated if anybody would have it. And if you go to Basaisa village today, there is no 1 meter without solar energy. 1 meter.
Wonderful.
مش هقول لك.
Wonderful.
And the only thing that's really happening, and I want to say to the listeners, to us, what Well, if I have a lamp like this one, powered by solar, is this fine with me? No. Why? Because this is a wasted energy. How could we make it productive? We did it. What? This lamp, around this table, we have 10 of the women in the village to be trained on how to cut clothes and how to make dresses. And we made the first manufacturing company or an industry in the village of producing dresses.
Beautiful story. Beautiful story.
And when you say this one, you have the women empowerment. You say the good things that we say about social
equity
and so on. It can be done. It can be done everywhere, but we need to put it together. Together, it means the one who can think about it, and in fact, what they came out of this success, but now we are coming to the winter. We can't have clothes like this one. I need pullover. How to do it? Tricot. Machines. How to get it? Well, we have learned how to get together and to make the money and so on. Why don't we have to train people in Cairo, and when they come back, each one of them to train 10? Multiplication. And instead of paying the money that we spend on you for the training, you make it for the training of the others. And we make another industry for the things that needs. The connection is there, and the experiments are there, and you can go for China and India, and this is the work that we have learned, that they have done it as to start with. Can we do it? Yes. We have examples? Yes. What we need is to put our hands together to really make this country as we needed Egypt for all and green economy.
All right, on this beautiful note, really, dear viewers, and beautiful story from that experiment in Al-Basaisa in Al-Sharqiyya that really gives hope, and from Dr. Arafa's beautiful conclusion here, we've come to the end of this edition of the Daily Debate. On behalf of you, we thank very much our dear distinguished guest,
Pleasure.
Dr. Salah Arafa, the Professor of Science at the American University here in Cairo. Always a great pleasure to have you with us, Dr. Arafa.
My pleasure.
Thank you, sir, and thank you, dear viewers, for watching us. Please stay with Nile TV.